get to verse 24 through 29. I'm going to come from two places, y'all. I'm going to come from John chapter 20, verses 24 through 29. And I'll also be in John chapter 11, verse 25 through 26. When you have it, say amen. Amen. You don't have it, say wait a minute. All right. I want you to say this. Amen. John chapter number 20. Then we're going to get in John chapter number 11. Amen. Amen. John chapter number 20, beginning at verse number 24. It says, "But Thomas, one of the 12 called Didymus, was not with them when Jesus came. The other disciples therefore said unto him, We have seen the Lord. But he said unto them, Except I shall see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and thrust my hand into his side, I will not believe. And after 8 days again his disciples were within, and Thomas with them. Then came Jesus, the doors being shut, and stood in the midst, and said, Peace be unto you. Then said he to Thomas, Reach hither thy finger, and behold my hands, and reach hither thy hand, and thrust it into my side, and be not faithless, but believing. And Thomas answered and said unto him, My Lord and my God. Jesus said unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. Blessed are they that have not seen, and yet believe, and yet have believed." In John chapter number 11, verse 25 and 26. It says, Jesus said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this? Look at your neighbor and say, Neighbor, we're going to talk about. You thought I was dead? Yet still I rise. You may be seated. Amen. It won't take me long this morning. Charles, give me 15 minutes. I know you'll keep clocking, keep watch on me. You thought I was dead, yet still I rise. First thing I want to let you know is we celebrate Easter. It ain't about Easter eggs and it ain't about the Easter bunny. It's all about Christ. Amen. It's all about the resurrection of Jesus Christ. First point I want to tell you is it's too soon to quit. Yeah. That's the first thing I want to hit you with. It is too soon to quit. Yes, it's been hard, but it's too soon to quit. Yes, you've had some ups and downs, but it's too soon to quit. Yes, people have gotten on your nerves, but yes, it's still too soon to quit. Yes, people are not doing what you want them to do, yet it's still too soon for you to quit. You cannot throw in the towel because God is preparing you and making you along the way. When things don't go your way, don't get upset. Just begin to praise God, because that means that He's making it uncomfortable for you so you can go somewhere else in Him. Y'all still ain't with me this morning. It's too soon to quit. Here it is. We all know the story of Jesus and how He was on the cross, but I want to hit a few things. It's not over until God says it's over. That's real. Y'all stay with me. It's not over when you say it's over. It's not over until God says it's over. It's just a test of your faith. You have to go through tests in order to know how good God is. The Bible says, taste and see that the Lord is good. Whatever you're going through, if you never had a problem, how would you know that He can solve it? How would you know to keep faith in God's word? But through it all, we learn how to trust in Jesus. Through it all, we learn how to depend on God. So if you're going through right now, it's still too soon to quit. Here it is. I know a lot of times we only deal with it when Jesus is on the cross. That's in Luke chapter 23, gives the best description of whenever He's on the cross. But y'all, I want to talk about Friday. I want to tell you about all the things that happened before He gets there. I want to talk about Friday. Look and understand what happened to Jesus on Friday. Jesus was praying. This was on Friday. And y'all sit here, I know some of y'all like to look at it in the text. That's over in the scriptures right here before us. It's in John chapter number 18 where Jesus begins to pray. Peter happens to be sleeping and Judas is betraying. Y'all stay with me now. Here it is. It's Friday, y'all. I said Jesus is praying. Peter, who is one of His disciples, is sleeping and Judas is betraying. Do not get mad whenever people are betraying you. Y'all still ain't with me here. Okay, bunch, you're going to teach this. Look what Jesus did. Jesus knew what was getting ready to come, but he decided to pray first. So what are you telling me? It is important to have a prayer life. You must have a prayer life. Well, what does prayer do, preacher? Prayer changes the situation, or it will change the way you look at the situation. That's what happens when you pray. But what I've noticed is a lot of us have stopped praying and started complaining. I still ain't got no help yet. A lot of us would rather complain about things rather than pray about them. When you take yourself to the altar, leave your burdens there. There is somebody that can handle them better than you. It's not the load that breaks you down, it's how you choose to carry it.
Yeah. Oh, that's real.
And a lot of times you're carrying a load that you can't even carry. And you're stagnant and you're stuck in one spot because you got all of this on you. You can't even free yourself because you won't give it up. God can't work it out because you still got your hand on it. Lord, I want you to work it out with my child. I want my child to be saved. But yet you still got your hands on it. Amen. God has to make sure he gets your hands off of it. That way he can get all the glory and you won't say it's you. Y'all, it's Friday. Check this out. Peter is one of his disciples. He's sleeping. Don't get mad when people are sleeping on you. Don't get upset. And Judas is one of them, and Judas is the one who betrays him. You don't need to be upset. There's some people in your life that are only temporary. They have a job to do. That's why they are there. Understand, you cannot make seasonal people permanent. Amen. Jesus couldn't make Judas be permanent. Judas had a job to do. Some people are just seasonal in your life. You cannot make seasonal people permanent. It will stop what God is trying to do. Y'all, it's Friday. What else happened on Friday? Pilate is struggling. The council is conspiring. The crowd is vilifying. But they still don't understand it's just Friday and there is a Sunday coming. I'm staying with y'all. Stay with me here. The Romans, they beat him. They crown him with thorns. They think they have him. Jesus is walking the cavalry. His blood is dripping. The body is stumbling. The world is winning. People are sinning and evil is grinning. Yeah. Don't get upset. It's just Friday. Amen. What do you mean to tell me, Reverend? That means whenever people are talking about you, people are trying to execute you while they are planning your execution, God already planned your resurrection. Don't worry about Friday because Sunday is coming. And a lot of us don't understand it because we get so worried and so caught up in Friday and all the problems of Friday. And then it seems like because all those problems that came, now you focus on the problem and you stop focusing on God. Y'all, it's just Friday. It's only Friday. Check this out, y'all. I said the world is winning. People are sinning. Evil is grinning. Now soldiers nail his hands and feet to the cross. Disciples are questioning what happened to their king. Pharisees are celebrating, but it's still only Friday. He's hanging on the cross, feeling forsaken by his Father. He is left alone and dying. Nobody can save him. It's just Friday. Have you ever had a Friday where it seemed like what could go wrong, everything went wrong? Yeah. Amen. Have you ever had a Friday where it seemed like it was hard for you to lift up your hands? It was hard for you to give God thanks. It was hard for you to give God praise because you were going through. Have you ever had a Friday like that? Have you ever had a Friday where you tried to throw in the towel but God threw it back to you? Have you ever had a Friday where it seemed like the more I pray, the worse the situation gets? Yeah. Have you ever had a Friday where it seems like every time I try to do good, evil is always present? Have you ever had a Friday whenever you feel like, oh Lord, I just need somebody to say something good to me for me to make it, but nobody says anything good? Have you ever had a Friday whenever you're looking for your spouse to love you, to show you some attention, but you never get it? Have you ever had a Friday? Amen. Come on. Amen. Huh? You ever had a Friday where everything is going wrong? But y'all, it's just Friday. Yeah. So I have to teach you text to let you know the beginning of everything that happened just on Friday. The earth trembles. Jesus gives up his spirit. Hope is lost. Death has won. Sin has conquered. Jesus is buried. The soldier stands guard, and the rock is rolled into the place. That happened all on Friday. Yes, Lord. Okay, but you got to teach me this text, man. You're telling me, I came from the country, y'all, and we bake. And Granny bakes from scratch. I do the same thing.
Amen.
Baking from scratch. But there's a lot of things that go into baking. And if you don't actually follow the directions and follow those ingredients, there's a good chance that your cake won't be good, and there's a good chance that your cake will fall. Stay with me. Baking powder is important whenever you are cooking, whenever you are baking. Baking powder has an expiration date. When I first started cooking, I didn't know it had an expiration date. I called Granny and got a recipe, and I went ahead and I put some expired baking sodas, some baking powder, in my mix. I said, Granny, it's not rising right. She said, do you have your baking powder? What does it say on there? Well, Granny, it is kind of old. You can't use old stuff and expect it to work. Amen. So, what are you trying to tell me? When things expire, you have to get something new. Let me tell y'all this. The big thing about the resurrection of Jesus Christ, it was the dawning of a new day. Old things had expired. He had to come into something new. So you have to be the exact same way. When things expire, you have to get ready for the new. Don't hold on to expired things because it will stop your progress. Don't hold on to expired things because it is not the right ingredient to where you're trying to go. That means don't hold on to expired people. I tell you all the time, if you won't drink expired milk, don't sit there and deal with expired people. Yeah. Everybody has a season in your life. We start off with baking powder, y'all. I'm just going to give you 10 more minutes. Just 10 more minutes is all I need. And here it is. What amazes me whenever it came to baking is everything has to be the right temperature. Yeah. Everything, if you don't have it at the right temperature, it'll take it longer for it to rise. And whenever you're cooking, you know, you got all kinds of ingredients. Eggs don't just taste good just by themselves. Salt don't taste good by itself. You have all these things you have to add in there, but you're making a mix. But it all has to be done at the right temperature. What are you trying to tell me? When it gets hot enough, then the cake will begin to start rising. But it first has to get hot. What are you trying to tell me? Why was Jesus on the cross? Why did he have to go through all of those things? He had to go through them because the temperature wasn't quite ready yet. So he had to sit there and keep going with it because he understood that in a little bit when it gets hot enough, I'm going to rise. But I first got to deal with the heat. Y'all ain't with me in here. When things get bad in your life, that's the heat. That's the pressure that's coming up on you. Get ready to rise. Don't get mad at it. You're just in there for a certain appointed time. Because the Bible says in due season you shall reap if you faint not. You're just there for a little while. Come on, Bunch. Don't get mad at the heat. Get ready for the rising. Yeah. Y'all please complain. And what's so good about baking is you have to mix everything right. And whenever you mixed it all real good, you couldn't tell what ingredient was what. It all formed a perfect mixture. You couldn't tell, well, where's my eggs at now? You can't tell. It all forms a perfect mixture that you get ready to pour in. What are you trying to tell me? Everything is working for your good, even the things that don't taste good.
That's right. That's right.
Good word.
Everything is still working for your good. It don't taste good. Everything don't taste good, but yet God is making a cake. Yeah. And what God is doing, he understands I got to throw some things in there at you, but I'm making a cake because people don't see it right now. See, they counting you out. Everything that happened to you on Friday, they thought you was dead. Yeah. Everything that happened to you on Friday, they gave up hope on you. They said, we got it now. Everything that happened to you on Friday, even your old people that was around you, forgot about you, did not encourage you when you needed it the most. They denied you and one of them betrayed you. It happened on Friday, but God said everything happened for a reason. There is a divine purpose that lies within you. And everybody thought you were dead. You ever been counted out? Y'all, I used to play Mike Tyson Punch-Out on Nintendo. The very first thing I know, some of y'all like, Nintendo, what is that? Well, my daddy got it. Daddy got me a Nintendo for Christmas. And I would play Mike Tyson Punch-Out. And what happened was, you could be up there and you could be fighting, and when you reach Mike Tyson, all it took was one hit for him to knock you out. And he'd knock you down, you'd be hitting A and B so quick trying to get yourself back up, and you'd just be hurting your hands trying to hurry up and get back up. Even though he hit you and knocked you down, you were able to get back up. Y'all still not with me this morning. Even though people hit you with a hard blow, you're still able to get back up. You're still able to come back with another fight. Y'all are with me. Sometimes you might lose a few battles, but I'm telling you, you don't lose the war because God already won. And when you understand that God already won, you will not sit there and entertain people who are not relevant in your life. Come on. Talk. One thing that I have learned while preaching and getting a better understanding of God, some people were never meant to stay with you. Some people were only there to motivate you to be better in God. Some people had to talk about you to get motivated. Some people had to leave you for you to get motivated. Some people had to sit there and say, I don't want nothing to do with you for you to get motivated. It takes cutting off some people to become motivated. Everybody you count, you can't count on.
Right.
Said y'all, we are making a cake. Well, Reverend, come on and get to the text. Here it is, y'all. Jesus has already died. The important things of Scripture, he got beat. I already told you he got beat in his back. They whipped him with his past. Some people try to whip you with your past. Some people try to say, you think you somebody, but therefore if any man be in Christ, he's a new creature, old things pass away. Behold, all things become new. Yeah. The important thing for us to understand about the resurrection is, too many people have been professing Christ and don't possess it. Amen. Too many people have a form of godliness, but they deny the power thereof. Too many people have been playing church. It's time out for playing church. With everything that's going on in this world, you don't need to play church anymore. With everything that's going on in this world, you don't need to sit here and not give anything out of service. With everything that's going on in the world, you better make sure you got your life ready and prepared, because anything can happen.
Okay.
Sister Mona said that I should have been dead and gone.
Yeah, yeah.
Now you think about that. You survived car crashes that killed other people. You got a reason to praise him. You think about it, you have sat there and drunk some things that killed other people but didn't kill you. Yeah. You got a reason to give God some praise. Right. You sat there and smoked some things that you shouldn't have smoked, but yet you're still here and somebody else isn't. You got a reason to give God some praise. Matter of fact, let me give you 10 good reasons to give God some praise. 1, he's good. Yeah. 2, he's good. 3, he's good. 4, he's good. 5, he's good. 6, he's good. 7, he's good. 8, he's good. 9, he's good. And 10, the Lord is good. Yeah. So if God is that good, you want to be praising him. Bible says, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. Y'all, it's just Friday.
Yeah.
And sometimes, here we are, we're in this text here. Thomas, being one of the 12, that's in verse number 24. He was not with them whenever Jesus came out. He said, the only way I'm going to believe if I can touch it. What amazes me is, a lot of us don't understand, a crossless faith is a counterfeit faith. I'm touching. A crossless faith is a counterfeit faith. Because Jesus said, if any man come after me, let him deny himself, take up his own cross, and follow me. It costs to follow Jesus. Sometimes it's hard following Jesus, but it is where you need to be. You have to follow him. There's a cost to it. And a lot of us, there's a book that my wife is getting ready to buy. It says it's a Christian atheist. You look at me and wonder, how can you be a Christian atheist? You know, atheists don't believe in God. But how is it that you're going to be a Christian atheist? Kind of like how some of us do. We are part-time Christians. Part-time. On Sundays, we here. Monday through Saturday, we not. Part-time Christians. Okay, what do you mean? We're sitting here and we mean a Christian atheist. Okay, I'm going even further. It's how we don't have faith on some situations. If you believe God, you should always be believing in him. But when you doubt him, you have all of a sudden forgot about him. Why don't you keep me the text, man? You said you had 10 minutes to go a while ago. I'm back. I have to close it in a second. What about says, the other disciples therefore said unto him, we have seen the Lord. But he said unto them, except I shall see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and thrust my hand into his side, I will not believe. A lot of people don't understand. I can't see him, but I believe him. How do you know that he is real? Yeah. How do you know to have faith in God's word? Because he showed up for me. Amen. A lot of times in life, you wonder how you made it. It wasn't because you were so good. It wasn't because you're just so dignified, you got everything together. It didn't have nothing to do with you. You think your alarm clock woke you up this morning. Your alarm clock didn't wake you up this morning. That was nobody but God that allowed you to see a new day. But yet we'll give praise and honor to all the things that man made, but nobody wants to give God any praise anymore. Now we've come to a point to where we're sitting here and we wonder why bad things happen to good people, but you still got to trust in God even though those things happen. A lot of us have lost faith because we lose loved ones. A lot of us have lost faith because things aren't seeming to work out for our good. Because that's what we're looking at it in the natural. Check this out, y'all. Let's go on further in the text here. Further in the text, it says, verse 26, it says, and after 8 days, again, his disciples were within, and Thomas with them. Then came Jesus, the doors being shut. Look at this. The door was shut. But here came Jesus. It goes on to say, but Jesus stood in the midst before them. Now the door is shut. But Jesus is outside, but then it says he stood in the midst before them. This lets you know there was no limitations in Christ. Amen. There's no limitations in God. So that means stop trying to put a box on what God can do and let him do. It's hard. It's hard. But you have to trust him enough. If you love him enough, why don't you let him work it out? No, I remember my auntie said, one thing that I did, Bryan, I did this. She said, I gave my son back to the Lord. And I told the Lord, he blessed me with him. I said, Lord, you take care of him. He's yours. You gave him to me, he's yours. What it showed me was, it was such a relationship that she knew there'll be times where I won't be there where my son is. There will come a time where I might be gone, but I left him in the hands of somebody that can take care of him better than I can. So what am I trying to tell you? You need to make sure that you know the man who can take care of you better than you can.
Yes, yes.
Finish it up. Finish it up, bunch. Here it is in this text. It goes on and says that being shut and stood in the midst, and peace be unto you. This is what Jesus said, peace. Then said he to Thomas, reach hither thy finger and behold my hands. I'm saying I got to touch him in order to know that it's real. People have counted you out too long. And what's so crazy is you believed what they said. When they said you wouldn't amount to nothing, you believed it. When they said that you will never be anything, you believed it. And because you believed them, it looked as if you were dead. Because you decided you were going to give up, it looked as if you were dead. Because you thought that, I'm just going to believe what they say about me. It must be true since they say it. You forgot about everything that lies within you. Go on further, bunch. Okay, I'm going to teach you a little bit more of the text. So Jesus, he was on the cross. Y'all know that he hung there. They nailed him in his hands. They nailed him in his feet. And here he is. He's just sitting there, bleeding for you. Y'all, that's so deep. And then it goes on to say, he told his father, Father, why hast thou forsaken me? The thing that God did, God looked on the cross. He also seen, that's my son. Yeah. And he seen that my son is dying for the sins of the whole world. My son is the one that's going to hang there because nobody else is able to do it. My son is the one that's going to do all these things for all these people to be able to be free. You have to give thanks to God because you were bought with a price and you don't have enough money to pay him back for it. There's not enough time that you can give him to pay him back. All God asks you to do is give me thanks just one day, I believe.
Yeah.
Just one day. Y'all, it gets real. Come here, Kylie. Come here. This right here. So take it easy on me. This is my baby girl. Well, this is my big girl, my first girl. This one right here, I'm gonna show y'all what happened. I said you thought I was dead, yet still I rise. My daughter wasn't supposed to be here. She was supposed to be dead. When we were at the hospital, and it came for her to be born, at the last minute she was diagnosed with preeclampsia, and her mother kept going in and out of consciousness. The doctor came in and said that you have to choose between your wife and your kid, and we need you to sign a form. Check this out. I wouldn't sign the form because I said there's somebody greater than you. Amen. Somebody's going to work this thing out for me. I got enough faith. God has enough. So check this out. So as it went on, my baby ended up being born. Now check this out. My daughter, she was able to be born and don't have anything wrong with her. Amen.
Yeah. Amen.
Amen. She's blessed. I'm blessed. So every time I look at her and see what could have been, what should have been, I got a reason to praise God. Y'all, it gets even better. Even though this here is my daughter. This is my baby. But check this out. She doesn't even see the mistakes that her daddy made. Yeah. She doesn't see the time where her daddy failed. Yeah. All she sees is, that's my daddy. Y'all stay with me here. I'm trying to teach you something. She didn't see all the times whenever I fell and messed up. She didn't see all the times where I fell short of the glory of God. All she sees is, that's my daddy. What are you trying to tell me? Well, the best thing I'm trying to tell you is God is not worried about the bad things that you messed up on. All he sees is that's my child. And because that's my child, I love them in spite of what they've been through. I love them in spite of their mistakes. I love them even when they didn't have enough power to love themselves. That's my child. And if you have any kids, you know how what you'll do for your child. You'll act crazy over your child. You can talk about me, but don't talk about my child. You can say whatever you want to say, but don't say nothing about my kid. What is it? They see something in you that you don't even see. Y'all, that's real. When you thought it was over, when you thought everything, it was time to give up, God said, you're still going to rise. Okay, bunch. Give me a little bit more. I need a little bit more. I came for a good word. I need to hear a little bit more. Okay, y'all. Let's get to the good part of this text. He said in verse 1, he said, then said he to Thomas, reach hither thy finger, and behold my hands, and reach hither thy hand, and thrust it into my side, and be not faithless, but believing. I want y'all to understand, when Jesus was on the cross, after he had died, the Roman soldiers, they went over there to him, and it is custom for them to break the legs of those who were on the cross. But yet they did not break his legs. You mean to tell me, out of all the people they crucified over 10,000 people, they did not break his legs? Because when they came to him, he was dead already. Check this out. Why were they not allowed to break his legs? He still had some walking to do. So what are you trying to tell me? The things that you thought were going to break you, they're not going to break you. God said, I'm going to let them pass over you because you still got some walking to do. You still got some places you need to go. There's a destiny for you that even the devil can't stop. All you got to do is get in me.
Thank you, Lord.
Get in me. They tried to stop you, but they couldn't. Okay. Come on, bunch. Finish it, man. All right, here we are in the text, verse number 28. It says, and Thomas answered and said unto him, my Lord and my God. Jesus said unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. Blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed. We all ought to be witnesses for God.
Amen.
Everybody in here, you're the evidence that God rose.
Amen.
Y'all, my daddy would attest to it. He'd probably start laughing. Aaron would probably start laughing too. The ice cream man used to come by. He used to have an ice cream truck. And you could hear the music of the ice cream man. Some of y'all were too. Y'all know about the ice cream man. Y'all hear that music? You get so happy you run in the house and you get you some money knowing that that ice cream man is coming. And I could just hear the music, and I was a big kid. I was a little chubby, to say the least. So I ended up being happy. I would run in there and be like, I need $2. I need $2. I need to get 2 sticks of ice cream. Give me $2. So I run in there and I get that. And I'm telling you, the ice cream man, you could hear him over there on the other side of the road, but you knew he was coming your way. So you sat there and you waited on the ice cream man because you knew that he might not come when I want him, but he's going to be on time for me. Y'all stay with me here. I'm going somewhere. I didn't get mad that he was over there blessing the neighbors. I knew he had to make a trip to where I was. Y'all still ain't with me here. I'm going somewhere with this. So I sat there and I waited for that ice cream man because I realized that soon and very soon I'm going to see him because he has something that I need. Don't get mad whenever God is blessing your neighbor. Just get up there and start waiting because he's also going to make a trip to you. But you need to be thankful for what he's doing over there because he didn't forget about you.
Yeah.
When I got that ice cream, I was so happy. Couldn't tell me nothing. Don't ask for any either. I wasn't sharing. I had that ice cream, man, and I just had both of them like this here. And Aaron was so hungry, he'd do something where I dropped one of them. You think I let it stay there now? Pick it back up and eat it. Why? Because that's what I wanted. Don't get mad when God is blessing somebody else. Start praising God. He's coming for you. All right? Come on and get ready to finish this text. So here it is. Thomas, he sat there and said, no, I'm going to wait. He's going to come to me. I'm going to wait on him. I got to see it for myself. I want to see it. I want to put my hands there. But notice something. Whenever Thomas put his hands there, the next thing he started doing was bowing down and worshiping. As soon as he touched him, he bowed down and worshiped him. And what I want you to understand is, here God is still in the flesh, y'all. He said, touch my side. I want you to feel this. So whenever Thomas touched him, Thomas could have blood on him. Y'all stay with me now. What I'm trying to tell you is whenever you've been going through, there is some scars that are there. There's some scars to show you what God has brought you from. Sometimes you need to look back at the scar and say thank you. Sometimes you need to look back at it because the Bible says when I think your good. So here it is, y'all. We've been talking about Thomas. He put his hands there and he began to worship. What are you trying to tell me? It's funny how I wish some of us would just start to worship. I wish some of us would just enter into the presence of God. I wish some of us could just get everything else out of our mind and would just worship God in spirit and in truth. When you begin to worship God, your enemies become your footstool. When you begin to worship God, God begins to pour out a blessing that you stand in need of. When you begin to worship Him.
Thank you.
You got to get to a point to where you can worship Him, and it doesn't take anybody else for you to worship. It doesn't take your neighbor clapping their hands for you to clap yours. It doesn't take your neighbor raising their hands for you to raise yours. It doesn't take anybody next to you because you know what God did for you.
That's right, that's right.
And you know what you stand in need of. Bunch, finish this thing, man. Finish it, finish it. Here we are, y'all. We've been talking about Thomas. You thought I was dead, yet still I rise. They counted Christ out, yet still He rose. All right? What are you trying to tell me? I told you all the things that happened on Friday. Imagine that God is on trial. Imagine you are sitting there. But y'all, now, God needs some witnesses. So imagine that we're in a courtroom. And there is a judge, and we represent Christ. And so now, the prosecution have came up and said, he deserves to die. He thinks he's a God. He thinks he's somebody. And now God is saying, I need somebody who's going to stand for me and be a witness on my account. God needs somebody who can talk about his character. And so as we're sitting there in the courtroom, they go ahead and say, if I call on something that God did for you, all I want you to do is just lift up your hands or stand to your feet. So here it is, we're in the courtroom. He said, well, what witness do you have? I have all of these witnesses who can say that whenever they were sick and afflicted, that I healed their bodies. Did he heal any of your bodies? Could you be a witness? Amen. And so then he said, well, who else do you have that can be a witness? I have a witness that whenever every weapon was coming up against them, that none of them prospered because I stood there and blocked them. Anybody else can say, I can be a witness. I have some people that are here who understand that if it wasn't for me up there on the cross for them, that they would have died in their sins. Do I have one person that can say, I am a witness? Do I have one person that can say, well, I got one more. I got one more. He said, I need somebody to be a witness for me that can say in the midnight hour, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Do I have one witness that can witness to that? Do I have anybody in here that can witness to how good God has been? Is there anybody in here that can witness to say, I'm so glad He died for me? Is there somebody that can witness in here to say that He's been too good for me to sit down on?
That's right.
Somebody ought to witness.
That's right, that's right.
And a lot of us don't understand it. You act like you're in a witness protection program like you can't talk. You act like he didn't do anything for you. You just sitting there all quiet like he didn't wake you up. You sitting there like you did everything on your own. Somebody said, I could not have made it without the help of God.
Thank you.
Goes on in John chapter number 11. That's whenever Lazarus had died. And Mary had sat there and she was frustrated with God. She sat there and said, if you would have been here, if you would have been here, then my brother would not have died. Jesus was standing there, and he said, take me to where you laid him. Y'all, this is where it's getting good. Take me back to the place where you stopped believing that I could. Take me back to the place where you gave up your hope. Take me back to the place whenever you threw in the towel. Because I'm getting ready to show you what kind of God I am. So as Jesus goes back, he tells Lazarus to come forward. Lazarus comes out of the grave. And then that's where I told y'all, John chapter number 11. Because Jesus goes on to say that I am the resurrection and the life. I am the resurrection and the life. What you're going through is nothing but a test. It's just a trial. Tests don't last always, Most of the time, test is only for 1 hour. And then it's over with. Y'all notice, y'all always heard him say, he got up from the grave. On the third day, he rose. But if you ever notice in the text how it says, it was the dawning of a new day.
Yes.
So what happened was, he didn't wait until the actual sun rose up. Because there's only 1 minute that is between midnight. Y'all ain't with me yet.
That's right.
At midnight, that begins the dawning of a new day. So what are you trying to tell me? They thought you were dead, but it only lasts for 60 seconds. Because if you can be gone in 60 seconds. Your problem can be gone in 60 seconds. Your issue can be gone in 60 seconds. Your miracle you're waiting on, it can happen in 60 seconds. Why is that? Because it's the dawning of a new day. And there's only 60 seconds that separate you from a new day. So what are you trying to tell me? Is anybody in here want to praise God? And I only need you to praise Him for 1 minute. For 1 minute to stand up on your feet and give God some praise. For 1 minute to see your child be saved. For 1 minute to see deliverance happen in your house. For 1 minute just to give God all by Himself. Just 1 minute to see how good He's been. Just 1 minute to thank Him for your mother. Just 1 minute to thank Him for your father. Just 1 minute to thank Him for allowing you to get up. Just 1 minute to thank Him for your wife. Just 1 minute to thank Him for your husband. Just 1 minute to thank Him for your sister. Just 1 minute to thank Him for your brother. Is there anybody in the house today that's so thankful that He died for your sins? There's something more. He got up with all power in His hands. There's nothing too hard for God. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, there's nothing too hard for God.
Nothing too hard.
Amen.
Nothing too hard for God. Y'all be ready to open up.